Maybe you've seen it. A student who sits alone at lunch with their head down and no one to talk to. A student who doesn't laugh and goof around with a best friend by their side. A student with disabilities is often a student that is isolated, laughed at, and rejected. But who will you be? A bystander or someone who stands up? Someone who stands up for students with intellectual disabilities. Someone who will not tolerate a bully. Someone who ends the R word. As an advocate for my friends with special needs, the word retard makes me cringe with anger. The R word is hate speech, used to make mockery of a person with an intellectual disability. My heart aches for my friends with special needs, knowing that their disability is being made fun of to try and offend a person. End the R word. Stop using it to target and hurt our friends with special needs. Mental retardation was once a diagnosis for a person with an intellectual disability, according to DSM, Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. In the United States, DSM is the manual doctors, psychologists, and social workers use to diagnose a person with a disorder or disability. DSM-4-TR was published in 2000. This was the revised publication that changed the term mental retardation to intellectual disability due to the changes in the diagnosis process. Originally, mental retardation was based on a person's IQ. Intellectual disability is now based on a person's ability to adapt to their environment, meaning the word retard has not been used in medical terms for 18 years. So why do we still use the R word? As American citizens, we are granted freedom of speech by the First Amendment. Some may say, why should we disregard this amendment and limit our speech? Freedom of speech is not an excuse to bully. By eliminating hate speech from your vocabulary, you are abolishing words that hurt people, killing the words that break people down, and leaving behind this speech that makes people feel left behind. Human decency is challenged by the R word. Pablo Casals once said, "Each person has inside a basic decency and goodness. If he listens to it and acts on it, he is giving a great deal of what the world needs most." It is not complicated, but it takes courage. It takes courage for a person to listen to his goodness and act on it. Do not be afraid to tell people to stop using the R word. In today's society, it is harder to be an upstander than it is to be a bystander. It takes willpower and goodness. Use your voice. Martin Luther King Jr. was known for his courage through his activist movements. He stood up for what he believed in and stands as an example for Americans today. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that." Be a light that abolishes hate speech for good, the light that stands up to bullies, a light that helps our friends with special needs. Spread the word to end the word. Thank you.